Listen, I've been working on a spicy Whir list in secret with my channel members, but I think it's finally ready to show you if you want to take a look. Thank you to channel member Lanky for being a member at the bargaining tier and for helping me out with getting this deck list set up. They've been posting in my Discord server, asking for feedback on their own similar Lantern control list, and I decided I liked it so much that I was going to play it myself. So this is Lantern control blue-black with Narset Parter of Veils in the main deck. This is a really interesting innovation. I have been known for quite some time to be looking for something to hate on card draw. So your things like Quantum Riddler, your Tainted Indulgences out of the Esper Goryo's decks. Lantern control has a really hard time specifically with dealing with decks that can draw multiple cards in a turn. So having mainboard Narset Parter of Veils seems very interesting to me. So this is shoved into a classic Whir of Invention pile. We've got the 4 Mishra's Baubles. We've got a ton of just random artifacts in here, including the 4 Mox Opals. We've got the discard in the main even. Managed to find room for all 8 discard spells. And the sideboard is the really interesting part. Lanky decided to forego some of these spells in favor of more tutor targets for Whir of Invention. I really like just having that pivot into kind of a Jund-esque sort of thing where you just 1-for-1 answer a bunch of stuff. So I have a lot of 1-for-1 answers in my sideboard. Long Goodbye, since we don't need to hit Karn anymore because we've got Consign to Memory and Voidmere in the sideboard, that means that Long Goodbye, this slot, can be freed up to hit things like, say, Clarion Conqueror, Teferi Time Raveler, Cameo, front side and backside. And the can't be countered aspect, I think, will become relevant at some point. We're gonna have to see how that goes. Consign to Memory is a card that I tested in a previous league and really liked. So consigns are in the sideboard. I've got Blood Chief's Thirst. These almost exclusively will come in for energy. This is just a 1-mana answer to basically everything that they do. And of course, my signature 2 Duresses. These come in, I think, in every single matchup, just because they all have non-creature hate in their sideboards. Wrath of the Skies, Wear Tear, Nature's Claim out of Neobrand, counter spells, stuff like that. I'm really excited about this list. This is, quite frankly, the most effort that I've put into a Lantern control list in a long time. I'm still probably going to go 1-4 just because that's the nature of the beast, but we are going to find out. I'll get match 1 started here in just a second. I am on the play here in match 1 versus TomCairns, who has the Dak Faden little avatar here. And we've got an interesting one-lander. I don't know if I can keep this. I think this is just a little bit too risky. River of Tears doesn't cast Narset particularly well. I've got 2 artifacts, but no way to find a 3rd. I think if one of these Narsets was a land, then I would snap keep this, but as is, I think it's a trap and I'm gonna mulligan. This is a snap keep, and I will keep it. I think that the Pithing Needle is going to be more relevant than the Underworld Cookbook. Maybe I shouldn't say this is a snap keep, but it's fine, you know? It's okay. It's probably better than going to 5. The Ensnaring Bridge plus the Whir of Invention is going to be a little bit of a redundancy against this Thoughtseize. Oh, I see. All right, we're doing Grand. I am not going to be killing Grand because I don't have a way to kill Grand. So this might be a new deck that is coming out because of Secrets of Strixhaven. We're gonna have to see what new cards they might be playing. Thoughtseize was an incredible pickup. Let's get that started. Okay, so we have got a whole lot of creature removal here. I think I can play around Force of Negation just fine. I think I would want to take the Psychic Frog out of this hand, honestly. But notably, they've only got 1 land here. I think I am going to put Pithing Needle down on the Emperor of Bones. Let's see if they decide to force this or not. Constructs aren't going to be super duper good here. Yeah, that Emperor of Bones is down now. And that's an Undercity Sewers. Kept it on top. Do I even want to be making constructs? I'm not fully convinced that I do. Just gonna put YIBICHIDOU into play tapped. Play this Underworld Cookbook. They let that go. All right, and they're starting to bin the Fatal Pushes. They have Hardcast Force of Negation up, which is not nothing. Ooh, and I just ripped the Mox Opal. How do I want to do this? I don't think I'm making a construct. Honestly, I might just get Lantern of Insight here. Yeah, I think I'm going to. And they let that go. Gran is going to attack. They're going to draw Psychic Frog and discard the other Fatal Push. And that is Thoughtseize. They are tapped out of Hardcast Force of Negation right now. Honestly, I have a half a mind to literally just get Ensnaring Bridge here. I think I'm going to. This kind of just shuts off their whole Psychic Frog thing. Means that Gran can no longer attack, which means it no longer taps. And I successfully played around double Force of Negation. Thanks, Whir of Invention. That was great. I think I will play out this Polluted Delta. And the hero's kind of in trouble here. This is the sort of deck that I imagine would not have many answers to a resolved Ensnaring Bridge. And I'm just going to start gaining life off this Cookbook. I'm not going to worry about it too much. They still have an unknown card in hand here, and that worries me a little bit. But I'm sure that eventually I'll draw like an Urza Saga or something like that. They are starting to stock up on fetches, which I think is probably correct. Ooh, that is a Narset Parter of Veils. That is almost certainly going to be a must answer from the opponent here. I'd imagine that this Clean to Death gets surveilled. No, they kept it. Well, I am going to just ram this Narset directly into a Force of Negation. Just gonna start working on it. That's fine. I know it's gonna get countered. Okay, we found Whir of Invention. This is almost certainly also going to get countered. I'm gonna do this on their upkeep, I think. Whir for 2, throw them off the scent. Probably not gonna matter, they're almost certainly countering this. Yeah, there's the other Force of Negation. Winter Night Stories is their draw. I don't think I care about that. Yeah, what are they gonna do? Get an Archon of Cruelty, cycle it? Exiling my Ensnaring Bridge, just drawing Kavero. They still have an unknown card in hand here. Oh, and they're really doing some fetching here. They're really trying. Yep, here comes Superior Spider-Man. It's just a Archon of Cruelty. All right, so they're gonna draw Persist here. I'm going to draw Whir of Invention. I don't need to fire this off yet. I do need to fire it off now, though. So I will. 1, 2, 3. Fantastic. And I am going to just get Pyxis a Pandemonium here. Don't necessarily want them having access to a cycler. Ensnaring Bridge number 2 is fine, I guess. Urza Saga's a really good hit. Let's see if I can keep that where I want it. Honestly, it's probably time for them to start using these Cephalid Colosseums. Persist on Psychic Frog, huh? I see what they're doing. So this Psychic Frog is going to enter as a 0 power attacker. Like, they'll still be able to deal damage to me a little bit. I don't think that they can deal 18 damage with the Psychic Frog in a single turn. So I'm not going to worry about it. Yeah, this has just got to go. I'm not going to let them have this Emeritus of Ideation. This is just terrible. This is one of the new cards. So it enters prepared, and it's just Ancestral Recall. This is an insane card. It's basically, at this point, just a 6 mana draw 3, but still. I am going to exile now. Yep, that's fine. Archon of Cruelty, Persist is out of hand. They're going to draw Thoughtseize. Choosing not to swing with the Forg. Return from your graveyard to the battlefield any number of target creature cards that each have a different mana value, X or less. Well, that Emeritus is exiled thanks to Pyxis, so I actually don't have to worry about that. I am going to Inquisition them here. I don't know what that last card in hand is. Like, I have a suspicion that it's dead, but let's just make sure. Yeah, it's just another Bitter Triumph. I'm going to take the Winter Night Stories out of this hand. Okay, so this Urza Saga is going to do a thing, and I need to decide what I'm getting here. I think it honestly might just be Pithing Needle on Cephalid Colosseum. I think that's my biggest problem right now. Although I could try and attempt to find a Narset Parter of Veils. Although they're digging for some out. I don't know what this out is. It can't be an Otawara. I think I'm just going to grab another Pyxis. All right, they played Agadeem's Awakening as a land. I am going to start trying to win the game. I'm realizing that if I think that Sink into Stupor is one of their outs, then I need to keep the Underworld Cookbook open. Yeah, I'm going to have to give up on Grafdigger's Cage here. Cling to Dust on an Urza Saga. Yeah, that's okay. You got Otawara. Yeah, that's going to be all right. I just need to make sure to keep Underworld Cookbook open. And that is an Emeritus of Ideation on top of their deck, so maybe I was a little bit too aggressive here. We're going to have to see. Cling to Dust on Island. Would love to just find Narset Parter of Veils. That would be great. Yeah, I'm just going to take this draw. I didn't find the Narset. I don't think that this is a losing position because I've got 2 Ensnaring Bridges in play. Otawara, Emeritus, Thoughtseize. Oh, they do have another Thoughtseize. Oculus, Frog, Bitter Triumph. You know what? I don't think it matters. I'm going to take the Abhorrent Oculus, I guess. Emeritus of Ideation is down. This is the new card. It is just Ancestral Recall. At instant speed, notably. I think I'm just going to pop Pyxis Bauble here. Going to draw another card. And that's an Urza Saga. That's not bad. I do have Pithing Needle on top of my deck. I would love to be able to keep that there. Just going to take the Persists. Okay, that's interesting. Otawara on the Underworld Cookbook. And they are going to do the thing here. So it's going to be Thoughtseize and what else? Oh, target player draws 3 cards. That's really cool. I hadn't thought of that they would just target me with it. Can they win from here? I have to assume that all of my constructs are going to die. So they can attack with this, 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 and this. At minimum, I'm taking 7, 10. They have 5 cards in hand, so I could take up to 15 here. I don't think I die. And I am going to discard this Dark Slick Shores. They draw Psychic Frog. Grand is going to draw Archon of Cruelty. And discard Thoughtseize. Are they going to jump any frogs? They probably should. Looks like they are casting Bitter Triumph here, maybe. Oh, they were attempting to. They were considering it. But as of right now, I am at 15. This trigger has already happened, so they would need to come up with like 8 cards, I think. This is a really cool line that the opponent found. I like this line a lot, but I don't think it's lethal quite yet, unfortunately. Oh, wait, no, they still have Cling to Dust in their yard here. So they got Fatal Push, 7, 11, 12. They would need to come up with an additional card here. I think they're 1 mana short. Yeah, Fatal Push is getting discarded. And that's the best they got. I am going to eat the Grand, and I'm going to fall to 3. They're going to draw the Grand. They have Archon of Cruelty in hand. So, I am going to cast the Underworld Cookbook again. I am going to drop Pithing Needle. This is going to name Cephalid Coliseum, because I don't think they have another Otawara. Now, I can Thoughtseize the Archon, or I can... Well, if I Thoughtseize the Archon, then I go to 4. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that, because I would discard this Mishra's Bauble. I would pop the food, and then I would Thoughtseize them. Take the Archon of Cruelty. That saves me 1 life. And now the only thing that they have that they can possibly try and like refill with is this Winter Night Stories. That actually might be good enough because they left this Psychic Frog back on just 0 counters or a 0/1. I think they might have found the line. So maybe I should have Pithing Needled Psychic Frog. Maybe I should have thought about that a little more. I'm going to make them see it. But they could literally just fling... Yeah, just the Winter Night Stories. Here we go. So they're going to have another Emeritus and 2 more cards. Polluted Delta Grand. And they discarded the Grand. And I think that is good enough. Oh, they're just going to go for this line again? No, they're going to have themselves draw this time, right? No, they're having me draw. Yeah, okay. The line here is that, yeah, they give that Psychic Frog flying. And then they discard the 3 cards in their hand. And then they just swing with lethal on that Psychic Frog. I don't have anything that I can do. I don't think I played around that. And here we go. The Cling to Dust for lethal off the Psychic Frog. Yeah, they saw the line. I'm going to concede the game to that. Man, that was a really interesting game. If I had played just a little bit better, I think I would have won that. The Narset Parter of Veils were a threat for sure. And I'm glad that I had them because this deck, man, they draw a ton of cards. They draw a ton of cards. So Duresses are definitely coming in. I think Torpor Orb can probably come out. Grafdigger's Cage is good. Honestly, a lot of my main deck is good here. I think I want my Pithing Needles. The problem is I think I want everything. I just kind of want everything here. Grafdigger's Cage shuts off Cling to Dust. Pithing Needle shuts off a lot of stuff, including the Ottawaras, which I'm really afraid of. The Underworld Cookbook gains life when I need it to. Especially if I'm siding out Torpor Orbs, I kind of want to keep the Underworld Cookbook in. Maybe I side out like a Mishra's Bauble. I'm not sure. I haven't mapped this matchup since it's not too terribly common. I definitely think that it is wrong to go down on Pithing Needles here, though. Okay, this is a very good hand. I'm going to keep this. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of discard. It needs another land. I am going to lead on Duress here. I am going to take Thoughtseize if they kept it. They took Consign and Force. I will take the Force of Negation. Oh, great. That's the other card that I was looking for. That's fantastic. This Watery Grave. All right. Well, I will Inquisition them here. That's just double Consign to Memory. I think I'm going to play around that. I will take their Psychic Frog. Yeah, I'm going to take their Psychic Frog. Go ahead, consign this Mishra's Bauble, I dare you. It'll be really interesting to see if they decide to... Oh, they're Thoughtseizing me. So they didn't go for the Emperor of Bones. Yeah, that Thoughtseize was a really good rip. So now my Narset is down. Oh, but Undercity Sewers is also down. They didn't go for the Watery Grave. So that means that I get to make constructs now. And I hit Whir of Invention. Emperor of Bones eats the Psychic Frog. That's reasonable. I'm going to make my dude. That's just an Underworld Cookbook. I feel like they should probably consign this trigger. And they are. Yeah, that's fair. I'm just going to attack. I feel like I'm the beatdown here. My creature's bigger than yours. Watery Grave is coming down. They are not shocking it in. Well, I can't block a Flying Frog. Flying Frog. Okay, Duress. Let's see what you're working with. Harbinger of the Seas. I don't know how much I care about that. That would actually take them off of black. Yeah, I don't think I care about that. I'm going to take their Consigned Memory. And I am going to drop Underworld Cookbook here. I am the beatdown. Do they block? They do, so I am priced into discarding this Thoughtseize. All right, your go. Yeah, they're just persisting Emperor of Bones here. There are no creatures for them to put underneath of it. This is literally just going to be a chump block. That's it. Persist is down. I'm going to put Codex Shredder into play. If this doesn't get countered, then I win. And it did get countered. All right. So that is Force on Codex Shredder. Attack with everything. And they're at 2. At the mercy of their top deck. I mean, Frog's a pretty decent top deck, but it's not going to get you out of this situation. I'm literally just going to attack, and I'm going to win the game. Okay, so Urza Saga bailing me out there after the hero had sided out, presumably a decent chunk of creature removal. I do have to win a game in less than 7 minutes. I think I am going to run this back. I can't keep this. That's just a mulligan. Oh, triple Narset. How do I feel about this? I think I will keep it, and I'm going to bottom one of the Narsets. And I'm going to be sad when I get Thoughtseize and they take like a Mox Opal or a Pyxis or something, and I just have nothing to do. Yep, that's exactly what happened. Who could have guessed it? That Psychic Frog coming down. I am going to land Urza Saga. This River of Tears kind of biting me in the butt right now. Like, I could have played this on turn 1. I chose not to. Wow, they're just making a ton of these Psychic Frogs. Ooh, that's great. Okay, so I could jam Narset. I don't know if that's correct, though. The Urza Saga line seemed to go so well last time. I think I might just do that again. Please cast Harbinger of the Seas. Aw, it's just a measly Emperor of Bones. All right, fine. Oh, that's really not good. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, I don't like that at all. I am taking a ton of damage very quickly. Yikes, I don't like that at all. 6, 7, 8. I'm at 4. I'm at 1 right now. Oh, I should have blocked. I should have blocked one of these Psychic Frogs. Dang it, come on. Now I'm just spewing. Oh yeah, that's exactly lethal. If I had just chumped one of the Psychic Frogs, then I could have clapped back. Dang it! That was just a mistake. So I could have taken this match if I had played better. But I literally just made a mistake. I wasn't even thinking about the additional card that they drew off of Arcana Cruelty. I was just like, yeah, I'm going to end up at 1. And I was thinking that I wanted to preserve the construct, but I really should have just used the construct and just chumped one of these frogs. Yeah, they could not have jumped both of the frogs either. So I would have actually been at 1 if I had done that line, I think. No, wait, no, they could have jumped both frogs. So maybe I was just dead anyway. But still, made a couple of small mistakes in game 1 that I think might have cost me the match here. Narset, though, theoretically really good, just never got a chance to get her down, even though that hand had 3 Narsets in it at the start. Let's move on to match 2, see if we can figure out how to play this deck. If you're enjoying the video and think you'd like watching more of what I make, please consider subscribing so YouTube can notify you when I go live and upload videos. I appreciate your support. Thank you. I'm on the draw here in match 2 versus Jaykobee. I cannot keep this hand. This loses way too much life way too quickly. Whir is unsupported. 1 land. I can keep this one just barely. I think I bottom one of the Inquisitions. We got a Wooded Foothills here. Is this going to be a ramp? No, it's a Blood Crypt for a Moonshadow. So we are just facing this red-black kind of madness discard aggro deck here. River of Tears was my pickup. I am going to Inquisition the hero here. Do I take Nethergoyf or do I take Kori Steelcutter? I'm more afraid of Kori Steelcutter, but they have a Raucous Theater in hand, so if they were to actually like fire off Kori Steelcutter anytime soon, then they would have to hit an untapped land and hit a 0. But I think I'm going to take the Nethergoyf. They are surveilling with Raucous Theater first here. Dumping a Street Wraith, huh? Cycling another Street Wraith and cycling another Street Wraith. And they found another Moonshadow. Yeah, I'm taking a decent chunk of damage. I have to get Ensnaring Bridge down stat. So this would be a 7/7 Moonshadow. That would be a 2/2. It'd be at 12 if I Thoughtseize them and I took the Kori Steelcutter. I'm playing Ghoulcaller's Bell for sure. So let's go ahead and do that. I don't have to Thoughtseize them. I could just stay at 14 life. I think I will. And then Urza's Saga can get Underworld Cookbook. Okay, that might have been the correct play. Kori Steelcutter's coming down. They didn't have the 0 for it. If they did, they would have done it earlier. Okay, Pithing Needle is the hit. I am just going to do Darkslick Shores into Ensnaring Bridge. I'm at 7, which is not a super comfortable life total. Oh, that's another Kori Steelcutter. Do they have the 0 to go with it? Oh, but they have a land. Yeah, I might be in trouble here. I am falling to 2. Really glad I didn't Thoughtseize earlier. I think that might have been a trap. And I found an island. Let me think about this. I am going to tap this River of Tears for blue right now before I forget. So let's go ahead and search the deck for an artifact. They have 1 card in hand. Can I do everything that I want? Can I dump my hand completely? I can cast Whir of Invention, actually. I can cast it for X = 1. I can also cast Pithing Needle, and I can dump Thoughtseize to the Underworld Cookbook. All right, so I am going to get Lantern of Insight. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so I'm going to get Lantern of Insight here. Mistress Bauble is on top of their deck. They have 3 Street Wraiths in the graveyard. That's a lot of Street Wraiths. Underworld Cookbook is on top of my deck. So let's go ahead and play out that island. River of Tears has already been tapped. We're for this. I'm going to tap the Ensnaring Bridge. X is 1. I am going to grab that Underworld Cookbook. I am going to put Pithing Needle down, and I'm going to put it on Mistress Bauble. And then I'm going to, you know what? I'm just going to do this now. I'm not going to take the chance. If their last card in hand is Lightning Bolt, then I am dead. But I think I just need to take the chance on that. Wow, last card in hand was Lightning Bolt. All right, so I think I did the best that I could in this situation. I just got overrun. That's wild. I found the line and I got punished anyway. That's okay. Let's go ahead and sideboard. So against this matchup, I kind of want to follow a similar pattern to what I'm doing with energy. Thoughtseizes come out. I'm going to take out Torpor Orb here. Might leave in the Pithing Needles. Bloodchief's Thirst, Duress come in. Narsets are not particularly good, so I'm going to side those out, and I'm going to bring in more removal. and this lovely welding jar. And let's go ahead and run this, see how this goes. Just a pile of removal. I don't think I keep this hand. I think this hand is just not strong enough. Yikes. Are we going to 5? Like, I can't keep this either. It has no way to cast bridge. It's got nothing. This hand has nothing going for it. Yeah, straight to 5. This is the best hand I've seen so far. I am gonna bottom the Duress. Do I bottom the Inquisition and then just go Opal, Jar, Bauble, Urza Saga? I have a 4/4 on my next turn, go? I think I'm gonna do that. That's a little bit wild, but I mulled way too low for me to really have another plan here. Jar, Bauble, Opal, Saga, go. Yeah, they thought seized me. This is exactly what I wanted to play around. Love that. Now you're at 16, and I am going to attempt to become the beatdown. I don't think that I have another way of winning this. Ooh, Blood Chief's Thirst. Yep, I'm the beatdown. This is just a 1-mana removal spell that hits all their stuff. It's really good. Oh, but they thought seized me again, huh? I mean, if that's all their hand does... Oh, they are going down in life so ridiculously quickly, and they've got no follow-up. I am the beatdown. I am going to grab... What do I think is going to be an issue here? I think one of the issues that I could have is not actually having enough artifacts to really have big enough constructs. I'm going to grab the Underworld Cookbook. I'm going to make this about combat. Take 6. They're choosing to do nothing here. I am going to discard this island because it seemed like they were F6'd as well. And they're at 5. They're at 4. They have 2 big boys that they have to deal with, and their hand was just a little bit too slow to handle it. Going down to 2, and that's a concession. I won that game very quickly. Yeah, Meltdown for X equals 0 would just be absolutely terrible, but I could not afford to play around that. I don't think I could play around it. Ugh. Like, they could Meltdown for 1 here, but then I would Welding Jar, I would protect the construct, and then I would just put them to 1. I guess they could still recover from being at 1. We'd have to see if that's even the thing. I think I'm just going to run it back. I don't think that I'm going to be playing game 3 like this, but dang, that little rush of adrenaline that you get from having all the cards just line up perfectly. This is a decent hand, and I'm going to keep it. It's not a fantastic hand, but I think it's probably better than mulling. Yeah, they're just moonshadowing me. I am going to lead on Inquisition here because I'm more afraid of their creatures than I am of their interaction right now. I take that back. Yeah, I am going to take Moonshadow here. Well, this is why we have Duress in the sideboard, right? Oh, they cycled into a card that they surveilled on top. That's not fun for me. I don't like that. All right, true. Yep, that'll do it. That's triple Meltdown. That is triple Meltdown. I would love a black source right off the tippity top. Instead, it's Lantern. Well, I mean, I need to chew through these Meltdowns, so I am going to drop Lantern here. And honestly, we might just have to eat a Meltdown. It might just have to happen. I'm at 8. That's not a super comfortable life total. Yeah, Bill, I think you're right. I think that's going to be my play, is Whir of Invention, get Bridge, and then get Welding Jar off Urza Saga. I think I'm just going to have to eat the Meltdown. I think I'm just going to have to survive it. Can I... Oh, that's interesting. I'm going to have to do math for a little bit here. Let me see what I can do. I'm going to let the Casey Jones resolve. So they are going to get Bloodstained Mire and 2 additional cards. Blood Crypt and Nethergoyf. Okay, I can handle that. They do have to discard at random on their upkeep. So the question I'm trying to answer right now is, can I potentially... Oh, wait, no, I can't do that. Like, if I'm Mishra's Bauble trying to look for a Thoughtseize or something, then I'm not going to be able to Whir of Invention. So I think I still have to just do Welding Jar. All right. Oh, there's Ensnaring Bridge. Love to see that. Tapping the River of Tears right now so that I don't make the mistake. Grab Welding Jar. Island. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I can still keep the Mishra's Bauble untapped. And I do have to do this now. I am going to grab Ensnaring Bridge. All right. They have to discard 3 cards at random here. I am going to see what they hit. Swamp, Meltdown, Blood Crypt. That's great for me. That is beautiful. There's a very good chance that I can win this now. I just need to find a mill rock. Any mill rock will work. Oh, and they just conceded the match, huh? All 3 meltdowns in your graveyard. Did they not have any additional ways to remove Ensnaring Bridge? I don't know. But yeah, that line, the Ensnaring Bridge and Welding Jar line, that did it. Welding Jar proving its value. That's really interesting because the kind of prevailing narrative in the Lantern community for some time actually is don't play Welding Jar because all of the removal is exile based, which is true to an extent, but it's possible that things are leaning towards the other direction now. You have things like Wrath of the Skies and Wear Tear and Meltdown and Nature's Claim. And I saw these and I was like, you know, I've been seeing Welding Jar popping up in a couple of lists. Let me go ahead and try it. It seems like it would be a nice little filler to have. And winning this game because of that Welding Jar, that was great. That was great. Like, they discarded their Meltdown anyway, but I needed to have insurance against that, right? Like, what if they kept Meltdown Swamp as their last 2 cards in hand? Then I would just be cooked. That was wonderful. Yeah, definitely not a main deck consideration, at least I don't think. We have a couple of folks. Lanky is going to be trying it in the main deck of their list, I believe. But Welding Jar sideboard, I like it. Let's move on to match 3.
Did losing to my prison deck leave you feeling bitter and despondent? Work through the stages of your grief with a membership to Fateseal Magic on Patreon, YouTube, or Twitch. As your grief matures, you'll gain perks like early video access, lessons and sideboard guides, featuring your deck in a video, and can even co-host a stream once you reach acceptance. I hope to see you on your path to healing.
We are on the draw here in match 3 versus PoweRGlovE. I am going to do my best to maintain a PG-13 rating and not make a joke about that. I think this hand is fine. It casts an early Whir of Invention. It gets a lockdown quickly. It gets Ensnaring Bridge down quickly. It really needs a discard spell. Basic Mountain, huh? M11, just normal, boring Basic Mountain into a Marauding Mako. So this tells me that I might be interested in Underworld Cookbook as my first play. Oh, that's tempting. That's really tempting. I need to reevaluate because I was thinking like, oh yeah, I'll just Underworld Cookbook. I'll discard the first card that I find and then I'll cast Pyxis. And then turn 2, I'll just land Ensnaring Bridge. But I found Lantern of Insight, which has me wondering if I can do something better. I would have to survive the hero's turn 3. I could gain 3 life if I needed to. I think. It would come at a decent cost, but I think I could do it. I don't have to play out the Lantern Lock right now. I don't have to discard the card right now. So I could just River of Tears, Underworld Cookbook, Mox Opal, pass, and then delay this decision until next turn. And that is exactly what I'm going to do. The hero's probably just looking at this random ensemble of cards that I've thrown onto the table and is extremely confused about what's going on. It's okay. You're an aggro deck. You don't have to care about what's going on. Just play your whatevers and just try and win the game. Okay, good. It's a Moon Shadow. Oh, but if this is followed up by a Burning Inquiry, oh no. Oh, it's just Faithless Looting. Okay. I can handle Faithless Looting. I can handle that. That's great. Oh, I'm so grateful that this is all I have to worry about. Okay, so now, oh, so you're telling me that I don't even have to discard a card here? Do I want this Mishra's Bauble or do I want the life? And if I do play out Mishra's Bauble, then I play out Ensnaring Bridge. Then could I get my hand low enough for Ensnaring Bridge to be effective this turn? I believe the answer to that is yes. This Marauding Mako is a 3/3. I know for a fact that I am going to be playing out this land. I know for a fact I don't need black mana. I could Whir of Invention for 3 right now if I really wanted to. Honestly, I think it might just be Ensnaring Bridge. And there's a chance that I simply just discard this Whir of Invention. We're just going to have to see. Now the question is, do I discard a card or do I not? I think the answer is yes. and I think that it is Whir of Invention. I'm going to make an attempt to get the Lantern locked down next turn. I just need to make sure that I'm at a high enough life total to where that is feasible for me to do. I am vulnerable to something like a Burning Inquiry, which they didn't cast, thankfully. Oh my goodness, that's fantastic. All right, Lantern of Insight. Oh, and I've got Whir of Invention on top of my deck. I love to see that. I am going to pop Pyxis right here, or rather pop Mishra's Bauble. I want to draw this Whir of Invention. I don't think that they're going to be putting in a 1-power attacker that's going to be like killing me anytime soon. So I am just going to pop this Mishra's Bauble. I'm going to draw the Whir of Invention as soon as possible. And I'm going to leave up Pyxis activation that will not take my Whir of Invention. And they just give up. They give up. Who said Lantern control needs a win condition? The bitter tears of my enemies are the only win condition I need. All right, so do I just... the same sort of sideboarding plan? I want to keep in the Grafdigger's Cage, but I think I can probably side out a Pithing Needle. So Pithing Needles come out, Narsets come out, Thoughtseizes come out, and this entire stack of stuff comes in, plus the Welding Jar. I could even keep the Pithing Needle in the main deck as a way to handle cyclers. What am I missing here? Give me a second, I'm gonna consult my notes. Oh, that's what I'm missing. All right. Notes are lovely. This is why I have sideboard guides. So I believe I am going to slightly modify what I'm doing. I am going to bring in this pile of black removal. I'm going to side out Thoughtseize, Narset, Torpor Orb, and we are going to run it. I have a feeling that Bloodchief's Thirst is going to be pretty decent, and I've got a hand that has double duress in it. I am going to keep this. It would be lovely if I could hit a 1-drop artifact. Ooh, a 0/1 Nethergoyf. Hey, I hit the 1-drop artifact. Remember when I said it would be lovely if I could hit the 1-drop artifact? Well, it's here. So I can duress them, and I think I will, because a meltdown would be really terrible, and I don't mind taking a little bit of damage off this Nethergoyf. Destroy target artifact, blah, 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 blah. All right, Rakdos Charm is gone. Oh yeah, Nethergoyf only counts stuff in their graveyard, not both graveyards. I forgot. I was thinking this was going to be a 2/3. It's going to be a 2/3 now at the bare minimum. Faithless Looting is down. Rakdos Charm is down. And they've got a handful of a bunch of land, so I'm imagining that some of them are getting discarded here. 2 unknowns. I could find out what those unknowns are next turn, or I could make a construct. Well, I know what one of the unknowns is now. The question is, do I play around Meltdown here? I'm gonna see what I draw here, and that'll inform me on whether I play around Meltdown or not. I just hit a land. I'm gonna play out Darkslick Shores. The question here is, do I duress at the cost of making a construct? No. I think the answer to this is unfortunately no. I would love to be able to do that, but right now constructs are my Ensnaring Bridge. Really wishing this Codex Shredder was a Pyxis. Okay, so that's Faithless Looting from hand. So they're gonna have an unknown card in hand at the end of this because they're almost certainly discarding the Raucous Theater, right? Yeah, Raucous Theater, Blood Crypt in the graveyard. And now I can duress them next turn. I can make constructs, I can go on the offensive. Mox Opal allowing me to do that with the Mishra's Bauble. Heck yeah, love that. But really it was this Codex Shredder draw that allowed me to do that. Yeah, if they attacked with Nethergoyf there was a decent chance that I would just take it, because I would want to play around Street Wraith, and I hit Ensnaring Bridge. Okay, I think I am still going to make the construct. I can hold Ensnaring Bridge in hand. I'm gonna grab Lantern of Insight here, and I am literally just playing around Meltdown at this point. I'm just gonna do my best to play around Meltdown. I will duress you. Actually, will I? I'm gonna swing first. They're taking it, they're falling to 7. Now I'm gonna duress you. That's a Burning Inquiry, let's go! They have Faithless Looting in the graveyard that they can use, but they don't have the lands necessary to actually flash it back. So I think that they can trade this Lightning Bolt plus like a Mako or something for one of my constructs. I'm not afraid of that. They have to block at least one of these. Oh, they're going for the double block here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna accept that. Do I want to kill the Mako or do I want to kill the Nethergoyf? Honestly, I think I want to kill the Mako. I don't know though. Yeah, I think I'm going to kill the Mako. Because if they get like a discard outlet or some sort, then that's going to be the biggest problem for me. All right, here we go. I am not going to cast Ensnaring Bridge. I have this as an emergency sort of thing if I need it. Oh, just firing off the lightning bolt on my face. That's extremely aggressive. I think it might be turtling up time. I'm going to mill myself. Going to try and find some more stuff. And I'm going to cycle this Mishra's Bauble. All right, going to draw a card here. And it's another Urza Saga. Oh, that's huge. Oh, I love to see that. All right, I am going to hang back with my construct, but I am still not going to cast this Ensnaring Bridge. Take that Rakdos charm from ya. Basic Mountain. I think I'm going to Mishra's Bauble here. I'm going to see what I can hit, because I could still see myself going either way. I don't know if I'm going to aggro the hero out here. I don't know if I'm going to... yeah, that's fine. Orcish Bowmasters. I'm going to get a card draw off of that, or another ping off that. I don't really care. Like, I could still try and swing for lethal here, but I'm kind of leaning towards something like, oh, I don't know, maybe getting a Grafdigger's Cage or something off this. Bloodchief's Thirst is kind of changing my mind, though. We'll have to see. I think in almost all situations, it is correct for me to do this Mox Opal into Pyxis right now. So I am going to do that. And I have Inquisition on top of my deck. I could Thirst another Goyf. Yeah, I think I will. And I still don't have to cast an Ensnaring Bridge right now, so I'm not going to. And then next turn, if they flashback Faithless Looting, then I get to... Oh, wait, no. They would be drawing Mountain, so they could flashback Faithless Looting, but that would just put cards in their graveyard. Okay, yeah, let's just be patient. I'm going to grab Grafdigger's Cage off this Urza Saga for sure. Yeah, I think I've got this game in the bag. I just need to not screw it up. Okay, and they are going for the line that I was kind of hoping that they'd go for. They are just escaping Nethergoyf. I am going to chew through that real quick. I feel like attacking here is kind of foolish. Okay, Faithless Looting can go. Burning Inquiry can go. I don't really think I might. Oh, I forgot to make the construct. Ah, oh, dang it. You know what? It's fine. Just going to land the Ensnaring Bridge and get the game over with. Grafdigger's Cage. Pithing Needle, gonna throw this down on Street Wraith, and then I'm gonna land Ensnaring Bridge. And now we are just pivoting. I probably would have beat down if I had remembered to make the construct, but fortunately this kind of just locked the game up. Plan is gonna do just fine. I've got plenty of time on my clock, I'm not worried. It is a bit silly of me that I just simply forgot to make the construct. I could have done so much damage. I don't need Ensnaring Bridge number 2. I do need another Mill Rock of sorts. I'm going to put this Pithing Needle down. I don't think it really matters what I name with it. So we're going to go with the classic, You Are Already Dead. And they conceded the game. Oh man, I could have beat them to death with a bunch of constructs, but you know what? The Pithing Needle name on You Are Already Dead kind of made it a little bit worth it. Okay, I'm doing pretty decent so far. Let's not jinx it, which I can't because I don't believe in jinxing. So let's move on to match 4 here. Now this is a hand. I could choose to keep this. Match 4 versus Kalorrdian, by the way. I really could choose to keep this. I'm going to keep it. Grafdigger's Cage is a pretty strong card. Torpor Orb is a pretty strong card. Ooh, Sacred Foundry tapped, huh? I just found another Pyxis. This could be a slow energy start, but what would slow energy have to do with just Sacred Foundry tap? Like, don't they have like 16 1-drops or something ridiculous like that? Wouldn't they shock in Sacred Foundry, just hold it open Galvanic Discharge if that's all they had? Basic Island. I am going to drop the Grafdigger's Cage. I think that this might be Jeskai Blink. Or it's Cleansing Wildfire. Yeah, I'll take that. I do wish to use the ability. I will grab an island. I will throw out an extremely juicy target here. And I will drop Torpor Orb, actually, into Mox Opal, into Pyxis. Although this means that if they have Flage in hand, then they can just drop Flage. Yikes! Field of Ruin. So we are playing against Red-White Land Destruction. And I am going to need a little bit of help from the top of my deck here. If it makes you feel better, then leading on Urza Saga here would not have actually helped. Ugh. Another Mox Opal. Well, I'm all dolled up and I've got nowhere to go. No lantern, nothing like that. Hero's got 6 cards in hand. This matchup is extremely difficult. I even put additional basic lands in the deck specifically for something like this. Oh, jeez. Oh, man, that's just my entire board gone. Do I even continue playing after this? Remember when I said this matchup was difficult? Remember when I said that? I'm gonna get a little bit more information from them, but I've got nothing. Yeah, I've got no lands now. I've got no board. I've got no nothing. They've got 5 cards in hand. Just gonna F6 for the rest of my life. And that's a hard cast Solitude. This is gonna be their win condition, and it's actually going to go coast to coast, probably. All right, so they are on Quarry Mountain Monastery. Not every build of red-white land destruction is on this. So that means I'm gonna want both my Pithing Needles in. Like, no shade against this deck. It's effective at what it does. It just stinks that what it does is win the game against me. Oh, man. Wrath of the Skies for 2. That was brutal. It was the downside of keeping that sort of hand. I could just hold River of Tears in my hand until I find an artifact. So I think I will. Wow, they hit another Quarry Mountain Monastery. Okay, so I found Pithing Needle, which means that I can now put this on Quarry Mountain Monastery. Not that it really matters. Oh, they're running 4 of them. That's really interesting. Their hand just casually has 8 cards in it. Like, there's no way on earth that I survive here. Yep. I do not wish to use this ability, so I now need to rip a land off the top. And I did rip a Mishra's Bauble. But a Mishra's Bauble is not a land, so I'm going to concede the game. Okay, well, we got to see how this deck operates. It just blows up all your stuff. I did include more basic lands. Part of the reason for that was because I specifically knew that this deck was a thing. But 3 basic lands really is not enough against this deck. Like, you really want to just be running a lot more than that. I'm pretty sure I played against this matchup when I was on the mono blue build that had like something like 16 basics in it or something. And it was still giving me trouble. So against this deck, I will want the Duresses. I don't want Torpor Orb, I think. And I don't think I want Grafdigger's Cage. I don't know if I want Narset or not. Maybe I could trim a Narset. What else might I want? Creature removal is not going to be great. Curse Totem's not great. Soulless Jailer shuts off Quarry Mountain Monastery, just like Pithing Needle does. I think I'm just going to bring in these cards. And honestly, I think I'm just going to eat the loss. I don't think that this is a winnable matchup. I just don't think it's going to work. Notably, I think that a hand like that might have actually been okay against something like Boros Energy. But against red-white land destruction, you need discard, you need a lock. You need to take basically every single card out of their hand. Oh, wow. I'm gonna keep this. I am going to actually lead on Urza Saga here. Like, I want to give this the maximum chance of running to completion as I can. Oh god, it's Wrath of the Skies. Oh, geez. Into Tear on my Urza Saga. How rude. How incredibly rude. Well, fortunately for me, I still have a couple of things that I can do. Well, Wrath of the Skies just has to go. It has to go. But I am still very much in trouble here. And it's mostly because of the price of freedom. Like, I could handle everything else for the most part. I think I want this Codex Shredder. So I am going to pop Mishra's Bauble right now. Sunken Citadel is fine. Like, I'm just going to get Price of Freedom here. They're going to hit my Lantern of Insight, and then I'm going to cry. Or they can just do nothing. I am A-okay with that, too. Let me see if I can play their deck for them. So they've got Double Sacred Foundry, Price of Freedom, Field of Ruin, Cleansing Wildfire. It's the Price of Freedom that I'm really worried about here. So I think I am going to take this Inquisition. I'm going to cast this Codex Shredder, and I'm going to cast Inquisition off of Mox Opal. I'm going to take the Price of Freedom. And now I'm not doing awful. I am not in awful shape. They're just leaving everything open. I think they might be trying to use their Field of Ruin effects as a form of Lantern control, honestly. And I think that that's really smart. So they let me have this Thoughtseize. I think I hold the Thoughtseize. I think I hold everything, actually. I don't think I make a play here. No response. I am going to search. Yikes. Price of Freedom. That needs to go. And Celestial Purge I'm okay with. So they are just Cleansing Wildfiring me. But they are going to grab Wrath of the Skies here. Can they cast that? It is their turn 4. If they cast Wrath of the Skies right now, then they just take my Mox Opal. Now let me just make sure that I've got all the stuff written down properly. They've used that. They've used that. Yeah, I'm going to let that happen, and this Thoughtseize is going to line up against the Wrath of the Skies. I will use the ability. I will grab Island. They might be wrathing me for 0. They are wrathing me for 0. Okay. That's literally just going to take Mox Opal. I think that is fine. I am going to play out Mox Opal again, and I am going to Inquisition them, and I'm going to take the White Orchid Phantom. They've got a Plains on top of their deck. Okay, and I have some semblance of draw control here. I am in a waiting room for my next land, but I don't have to have a land right now. I actually will not search. I'm gonna let the Demolition Field come in. They played it. Okay. I'm just being super patient here. I'm gonna name the Quarry Mountain Monastery that was causing so many troubles in the first game. Urza Saga's coming down. That's fine. I am not going to search. I'm gonna let the shuffle happen. Okay, so Field of Ruins on top of their deck. I think I'm okay with that. Honestly, with that Field of Ruin face up, I think I'm going to mill myself. Ooh, Narset Parter of Veils, huh? White Orchid Phantom is coming down. I think they're considering cycling this on their own Sacred Foundry here. Yeah, they are. I think that's a smart play. Okay, everything is good where it's at right now. This White Orchid Phantom is a bit of a problem, but it's a problem that I will probably be able to answer before it kills me. And I did just find my second Mill Rock, just ripped naturally off the top, just like that. And I want this fetch land, so I'm going to take it. Just going to rip that off. That's fine. Okay, we've got Soul Partition. This is one of the reasons that this build is just so difficult to handle. Is because they just have random exile target non-land permanents in their deck. Just everywhere. I am certainly milling that. I'm 100% milling Kataki. Jeez. And I don't think I want this Dark Slick Shores anymore. I think I kind of want to find another Mill Rock. Let's see if we can do it. I'm going to find that basic island. Did not find the Mill Rock. Did find Watery Grave. I am going to shock in Watery Grave, and I am actually going to cast Ensnaring Bridge here. I think it's time to finally get it down. Okay, and they are shuffling their deck for me, so that's fantastic. I do want to shuffle my deck, and I think we're slowly wrestling control of this game back in our favor. Extremely slowly, but I think it is working. Yeah, I don't think I want them having a White Orchid Phantom right now. Path to Exile is fine. I need to think about how I want the rest of this game to go. I have a lot of expensive cards in hand. This White Orchid Phantom is just kinda almost going coast to coast. The second I play this Watery Grave, it's going to die. Do I want to use my time here to just Thoughtseize myself, take Narset out of hand, for example, wait until I can find like another Mox Opal or another land or something like that, and then just sit on this Whir of Invention? Let me see if the hero takes advantage of me just shocking this in. I am going to pay the 2 life on this, and I'm going to pass priority. They didn't. They waited. I feel like it would just be better to get Underworld Cookbook than to Thoughtseize myself, but I feel like that also might just be a waste of a Whir of Invention. I am going to Thoughtseize myself here. No, actually, I'm going to Whir. I'm going to Whir for 3, but I think I am just grabbing the Underworld Cookbook here. All right, Cleansing Wildfire. That's your draw. Yeah, it's getting to the point to where I'm kind of glad that I got the cookbook, because I am at the point in the game where I'm not going to have lands. Yeah, I do want to shuffle the Ensnaring Bridge. Thanks for asking. Okay, we are doing just fine, I think. I am going to discard this Underworld, this Thoughtseize to the Underworld Cookbook. I'm going to cast Mishra's Bauble. Eventually, I'll hit another Mill Rock of some sort, and then I'll feel be better. All right, that's great. I'm actually going to hold this Thoughtseize in hand. Yeah, let's go ahead and take that Legend of Roku here. Price of Freedom can go. And I'm pretty sure I am just in control of the game now. I'm not going to be playing out this Darkslick Shores. I think I just need to discard it. I'm at the point of the game where I want them to not have ways to shuffle their deck. Great, just in time for Plage to show up. That's great. That is fantastic for me. I'm going to stop tracking their hand. I have Ensnaring Bridge now. I just need to keep them off of outs. Very slowly milling them out. My client's starting to lag a little bit. I am going to play the second Mox Opal out, and I'm going to tap it, and I'm going to crack a food token. Wow, this was... I am amazed that I got this game at all, if I'm going to be real with you. Like, I don't think I should have. Okay, and that's game. Wrath of the Skies is their last card in hand. Get the heck out of here. Just how did I win this? I don't know. I am going to do a ninja restart in between matches. Or games. Okay, how did I sideboard again this matchup again? I forget. I know I wanted Welding Jars and I wanted Duresses. I think I took out Torpor Orb. Probably Grafdigger's Cage. And I guess a Narset? Just trimming on the expensive cards here. I fully understand that I could get turn 2 Kataki'd. I think I just have to accept that as a possibility. It's a 2-of in their sideboard. If I get Kataki'd, then it's just, whatever. I'm mulliganing this hand. It's terrible. I am unfortunately going to keep this. I think I have to bottom probably the Watery Grave. All right, double Thoughtseize. Let's go. Take that Wrath of the Skies. Take that Kataki's War's Wage. Take that Wear Chair. Oh my goodness, they top deck Kataki? Are you kidding me? It's rigged. Game's rigged. Game's just absolutely rigged. I forgot to renew my Moto Premium subscription. I'm getting punished for it. They just ripped Kataki just like that. So I am getting a land blown up here. I am going to shuffle. I was hoping to find something that wasn't a land. Yeah, let's go ahead and pay there. Ooh, Urza Saga. That is a good card if I can draw it. That's a good card if I can draw it. We'll see. I was able to draw Urza Saga here. Let's go ahead and land it. I'm not going to play out the Mox Opal yet. Kind of just have to let them have the Soul Partition. Absolutely brutal here. This is terrible. I'm just taking so much damage so quickly. Oh, that's disgusting. Soul Partition on their own White Orchid Phantom here. Wait, how did they manage to do Soul Partition on a White Orchid Phantom and then just cast it like that? How did that happen? Like, seriously. Exile target non-land permanent. For as long as that card remains exiled, its owner may play it. A spell cast by an opponent this way costs 2 more to cast. So they cast Soul Partition on White Orchid Phantom, that exiled it, and then they just recast it. I don't know what happened there. I don't know why they were able to do that. That feels like it might be some sort of error or something. Unless I'm missing something, which is entirely possible. I don't know, though. I don't know what's going on. I feel like I might have had a shot at this game if that hadn't happened. But now I'm not sure. Like, yeah, they had 4 mana, but they didn't have 4 mana right then. They only had access to 2. I'm gonna have to review the footage on that. I feel like I'm just very stupid and confused. Going to go ahead and fetch with Polluted Delta here. Grab a Watery Grave. I found Whir of Invention. Shuffle your Wrath of the Skies. Okay, we might not be completely cooked. Let me do the math on this. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I don't need the additional land. And that's Ensnaring Bridge. And now if everything lines up perfectly for the rest of time forever, and I get extremely super lucky. Oh, that's just game. Never mind. Never mind. Oh, I didn't shuffle. I should have shuffled there. Okay, always yielding. I am gonna pay off of this. Always yielding. I'm not gonna pay. I am gonna pay. Okay. So I have many problems and they all have to get solved. Yeah, just like that. That was also one of my many problems, but I could not solve it. Well, I mean, we knew that this matchup was gonna be difficult. I really wanna go over the footage for this because I feel like there was some sort of thing with that Soul Partition. This doesn't say play it without paying its mana cost. It says play it. So that means you still have to pay the cost for it. And you have to pay 2 more for it. I'm not sure what I'm missing. I'm sure someone in the comments is going to be like, yeah, this is what happened. But I don't know what I'm missing here. But anyway, well played from the hero. Very cordial in chat as well. I appreciate you very much, Kalorrdian. Let's move on to match 5. Never mind. I took everybody's advice and actually read what was going on, and it turns out I'm just not reading the card. Reading the card explains the card. A spell cast by an opponent this way. They are not their own opponent. Read the card. Reading the card explains the card. Now I know that that's a trick that they have access to. Match 5, everybody. Okay, let's be less stupid in match 5. On the draw versus YIBICHIDOU. I actually think I might have said that correctly. I am going to keep this hand. This is a double Urza Saga hand, which I really like. It's got double Whir of Invention, which I kind of like. I found Mox Opal. Do I just want to get saucy with the Urza Saga constructs? I don't think so. I think I'm just going to play Polluted Delta, and I'm going to pretend that I'm like Dimir Control or something. Basic Plains Pass is interesting. I really hope that they are not on red-white land destruction. I do not want to play against that deck again. Double Basic Plains Pass. Double Basic Plains Pass. What could that mean? Well, I'm going to play out my Urza Saga here. I'm not going to tip my hand yet. Wow, they're just not playing cards. Oh, Demolition Field. Never mind. Okay. So it's at least white land destruction. It could be a little more than that. They're doing it on my draw step. Yeah, that's fine. I will grab the basic island here. And if they don't get a mountain, then I'm just going to assume that it's... Okay, so we're literally just red-white land destruction back to back. Because of that, do I even... No, I am going to. I'm going to play out the Urza Saga. I'm going to cast my Mox Opal. I'm going to cast my Mishra's Bauble. And I am going to cast Whir of Inventions while the sun is still shining. Blue, 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 and tap the Mishra's Bauble. Very good. This is going to get Lantern of Insight. Orim's Chant, huh? Yeah, you can draw that. All right, I'm getting fielded again. I was kind of expecting this. Gonna grab my another basic island out of the deck here. Is this gonna be a Price of Freedom? Nope, just a Cleansing Wildfire. I am going to search, but I'm not going to grab an island. Erode is a fine draw for them. Yeah, that's a Field of Ruin. I'm gonna float blue off of this. I don't think I'm gonna grab the island yet. I think I'm just gonna be patient. I definitely want that Codex Shredder, so I will take it. Just gonna let the mana go. And that's a White Orchid Phantom, so they're finally starting to deploy some of their stuff. Pyxis of Pandemonium, huge hit here. I love to see that. Inquisition, also a huge hit. So I am going to Shredder and Pyxis. I am going to Mishra's Bauble. I'm going to target myself. And I still somehow have 2 Whir of Inventions in hand. Inquisition is good. Path to Exile is good for them. Basic Plains. Just for another White Orchid Phantom. Nothing to target with it. Okay, and now it's time for me to check their hand, I think. Although I think I know their hand, right? Orim's Chant, Erode, Path to Exile. Yeah, I know their hand. I'm going to shuffle, and I'm still going to try and hide that basic island. I don't want this Lantern on top of my deck, so I am going to cast this Whir of Invention. Maybe that was a bit risky. I am going to get Pyxis. All right, so there's an Ensnaring Bridge on top of my deck. Do they draw step Orim's Chant me? No, they don't. Ensnaring Bridge is down. And I have an extraordinarily strong lock here. I'm going to take a little bit of damage. I'm going to fall to 7. But notably, the hero has no way to interact with what I'm doing. And next turn, I get to just dump my hand. I think I will make an attempt to draw a land on this turn. So I'm going to exile that Wrath of the Skies instead of just mill it. Because I don't want to get got by an Orim's Chant. All right, that's fine. And I think for this turn only, I am going to not mill that Galvanic Discharge because I wanted to make sure that I drew that island. And I didn't want to have to like exile a Flage with Pyxis or something. And they did certainly Orim's Chant me, but that doesn't matter because I am using Whir of Invention. The Ensnaring Bridge is already in play. White Orchid Phantoms can no longer attack. I am going to get Ghoul-Caller's Bell here because Ghoul-Caller's Bell is a mill rock that I can activate without having to do a bunch of clicking. It's just 1 click because it only has 1 ability. Don't even need to choose targets with it. And this game is over. I am going to start winning. I am going to Inquisition myself here. I'm going to take the Mox Opal. I just don't need cards in hand. My lock is so incredibly strong that I don't need anything else. And it looks like this might be a more basic land heavy variant of the red-white land destruction deck. Yeah, there's the first Sacred Foundry that I've seen. Oh, but they still do have Quarry Mountain Monasteries. They just didn't see them. That's one monastery, and I am going to be casting every single spell that I draw. Don't want to get punked. Oh yeah, that Solitude was in hand. Probably should have remembered that. Whatever. Don't think it matters. One click on that Ghoul Caller spell. Love to see that. Plage can get exiled. That can get milled. That can get exiled. And I am running a little bit low on mill rocks here. I'm going to Thoughtseize myself. Actually, no. I'm going to Thoughtseize them. I'm going to take one of their shuffle effects out of hand. We'll take a road. And now we're just doing the Lantern control thing. Just kind of winning a game. Just nice and easy, just like that. I feel like that my draw kind of lined up pretty well against what they were doing. The Whir of Inventions were really helpful. Didn't accidentally mill a Flage, did I? No, I didn't. Okay. Hey, there's Wrath of the Skies. I definitely don't want to see that. And they're just like, you know, I see Wrath of the Skies on top of my deck. I am never going to draw that. And you are right, friend. You will never draw that. So they have one Quarry Mountain Monastery that I saw. If they had more than that, then I probably would have seen them. 18 cards left in their deck. I highly doubt that they have 4, like the other build that we were looking at. But getting game 1 versus them is massive. This gives me just a little bit of hope. So Welding Jars and Duresses, they don't seem particularly creature heavy. I could see just siding out all Narsets, honestly. Grafdigger's Cage could shut off Plage. Although I could do something like side out Grafdigger's Cage, side out Torpor Orb, bring in Pithing Needle. Do I want Soulless Jailer? Players can't cast non-creature spells from exile, so that shuts off the Quarry Mountain Monastery. It's a creature that I could theoretically block like a Solitude with, but not a White Orchid Phantom. Maybe instead of bringing in these Pithing Needles and stuff, I could bring in something like Long Goodbye. But instead of Long Goodbye, I feel like I'd rather just have Blood Chief's Thirst. Let me see if there's something else in the deck that I could have cut. Not really. Maybe I just sideboard like this. Because I don't want to side out all my Pithing Needles, because I want to hit the Quarry Mountain Monastery. I am going to do an experiment. I don't know how this feels. It's not a clean sideboard mapping, but it's an idea. It's an idea that I'm going to attempt to execute. This is a really interesting hand. This is a lot of draw control very quickly. I am going to keep it. Ooh, but that's a Vexing Bauble. That shuts off my Mox Opals. That's not great. I'm going to put Urza Saga into play, honestly. I think it's time. Just for a turn 1 Urza Saga into a Kataki Wars Wage. You've got to be kidding me. Shuffle, 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 shuffle. I can't deal with that. That was terrifying. Woo! Good thing we don't have to worry about that nonsense, right? A road is still in the deck, huh? Well, I'm not going to be keeping this Urza Saga anyway. Like, I'm going to have to shuffle off this Field of Ruin. So I am going to find Watery Grave. And I am going to... Do I want Shredder or Bell? I think I might want Shredder. It could go either way on the Shredder or Bell, though. It sucks that there are 2 cards that this Vexing Bauble is locking out. And they are just keeping it around. Wait, what? No, you did not just pass turn. You did not just pass turn. Oh no. The hero is in trouble. The hero is in trouble, friends. They are in trouble. How do I punish this? How do I best punish this? Wait, what? They just conceded? They conceded the game? I mean, I was thinking about the best way to lock them out of having any sort of lands ever. Like, friend, did you keep 7? My brother in Christ, you kept a 7-card hand. The London Mulligan is the strongest thing in the game. Use it. If you have a hand that does not function, you do not need to keep a hand that does not function. You can just mill it or mull it. Well, I was going to be milling all of their stuff. I was really torn between getting a Pithing Needle for Field of Ruin and just getting a Pyxis. I was really torn. I wasn't sure what I was going to do. Like, they could have even popped Vexing Bauble to draw a card. I would have Whir of Invention over top of it. Well, not over top of it, but I would have, like, cast my Mox Opals and done stuff like that. But still, like, there was play here. I think that was a little bit of a premature scoop, and it was also a bad keep from the opponent. Do not keep bad 7s. Mold a good 6s. Mold a good 5s. Mold a good 4s. If you're molding to a good 4, you probably just lost the game anyway. But still, London Mulligan, everybody. So I worked very hard on this deck list, and I feel like my efforts have been rewarded. Finally. This is a 3-2 finish, yes, but it could have been a 4-1 with tighter play from me in match 1, especially that first game. And maybe match 5 was a bit of a wash. Maybe I got a little bit lucky in match 5. Maybe the opponent scooped a little bit too quickly. So maybe it was actually just a deserved 3-2. We did not get to really play with Narset today, which is a bit of a shame. I have done some amount of testing with this list in the past, and you've seen in different like videos that I've released that I was playing with this. Narset is still something that I want to continue playing with. And I think that with the amount of work that I have put into the sideboard mapping for this list, once again, plugging channel membership, bargaining or higher on that, then it feels amazing. Bloodchief's Thirst is an interesting inclusion. I feel like I didn't get enough testing of that today. I really would have loved to. We just kind of played against, I don't know, like Rakdos random stuff, and we kind of just ran over them without really needing the removal. But still, this list gives me hope that maybe there is a path forward for Lantern Control that doesn't just involve going 1-4 every single league. And I'm going to continue to play with this until I figure it out.
This program is made possible by generous funding from these sponsors, and also by your view, like, and comment, the support of my wife and son, and by contributions to Fate Seal Magic from viewers like you. Thank you.